Start the
Hi,
show.
Theresa.
Hi.
Welcome to Yarn on the House.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for joining us today. So why don't you start by telling the followers what you're all about and what you do?
I am the owner and brain behind Little Turtle Knits, which I started when my oldest was a baby, and he's almost a teenager. I realized yesterday that he has one more year as a tween, but he thinks he's a teenager now. So
Yes,
gonna
they
be-
think that they
yeah.
think that sooner than they are.
But I started when he was very little. He was a baby. He was about maybe 6 or 8 weeks old, and I was out shopping with my mom, and he was wearing a sweater that I had made him, and we were up at Neiman Marcus, and someone stopped me and said, "Where did you get that sweater? I love it." And I said, "Well, actually, I made it for him.
Yeah.
I designed it." And she's like, "I want to buy them." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Oh, I'm a buyer for Neiman Marcus. I want to buy it."
Wow. Yeah.
So I did a design for them that they then probably had sweatshop people make in China, which kills me. And so I decided that I didn't want to do like any of that. Like I didn't want to work with stores, and so I wanted to kind of be on my own because I'm a little bit of a control freak.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to have, I
You
wanted
have the
to do
control
everything.
over your designs, right?
So I'm an independent designer, and that's probably the way it's going to stay because generally every time I work with a third party, I wind up regretting not having the control. So
Right.
I've accepted that I'm a control freak and I'm just going to go with it.
That you like it your way and that's it.
I do. So it's really great. It's enabled me to stay home with my kids. I've got 4 boys. My youngest is 4 and my oldest is 11 and a half. And it's great. So it's
Busy
portable.
house.
Perfect mommy job.
It is.
Because it comes with me wherever I go. I've always got my knitting, and I sit
Yeah.
at the park and knit, and I sit in now the pickup line at the baseball games, and so it's a good mommy job.
Yeah,
It's nice.
that's awesome. That's a great story. That's kind of
Thanks.
exciting and
Yeah.
that's neat. So you design knitwear. Tell us a little bit about the designs that you do and kind of your accessory pieces.
Okay, well, I started out primarily because I was designing mostly for my kids. I started out with kids stuff, and I'm one of those uber crunchy moms. So my kids wore cloth diapers. So that was actually my first designs were all cloth diapering stuff. And it's still my most popular one is the picky pants, which is pants, shorts, for over cloth diapers. And as my kids grew up and they, saw stuff, they're like, "Oh, I want you to make me that," or "I want that hat." They were in that golden age when they want mom to make them stuff. Now, the oldest is like, "No, I'm not wearing that. You hate it, even if it's really cool. I'm not wearing it because you hate it." Although he will do the hats, which is where I've
That's
kind
good.
of done. My last couple of designs have been hats that my 2 older guys have specifically asked for, which is really nice. So I will drop everything when they ask me to knit them something. I'm like, I don't
right.
care what I am working on. It gets dropped and I'll knit it because I'll make it. If I wait, they may change their minds.
Oh, yeah, the seasonal change.
Right. So Bricked came about. That's one of my newest hat patterns, and I think it's one of the ones that we're doing in the giveaway.
Yeah.
Came about because they have this very specific. My 2 older guys are really into skating and skateboarding, and so they had this really specific idea of this kind of hat that they wanted. And one of them actually drew it for me. He drew me this little picture, which I'm keeping forever. It's going in the scrapbook.
That's a great memorabilia piece.
And it came out exactly the way they wanted it. Mm-hmm. And so that
It's
was
a great hat. It's even wearable it's definitely unisex, and it's not just for little younger boys. It's I would
Absolutely.
wear the hat. It's got the cute little brim on it, and the bricked part where it kind of looks like bricks go. Oh, I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Thanks. I did one for one of our babysitters is a high school girl, and she saw one of the boys with it, and she said, "I want one of those."
Yeah.
So I did one for her in pink.
Oh, how fun. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That I
It's like
totally see it in
pink.
like girly colors
Yeah.
and
It's
fun
super
stuff. So
cute.
yeah.
Super cute. Yeah. So
Very
I keep saying I need to make another sample to put pictures up of it in girly colors because I think you
Yes.
look at it in the, like I've got it in the gray and black and it's like, oh, that's such a boy hat. But it really is cute in
I
girl
think you
color.
should definitely do that because I
Yeah.
see it in girly colors too.
It's on the list of
Yeah. To do's.
never ending to do.
Yes.
Yes.
So, for budding new designers out there, what's your one piece of advice?
My one piece of advice for budding new designers, don't listen to advice.
Don't
No.
listen to advice. Don't take any.
Well, I think that everyone needs to kind of find their own way.
Hmm.
And that's not to say like that I have tons of, this is what I did and it didn't really work well, so don't do it.
Yeah.
But I think that every designer kind of has to find what works for them and what works for me might not necessarily work for them.
Yes.
So I guess my one piece of advice would be to follow your heart. If
Mm-hmm.
something doesn't feel right, it's probably not. And
Yes.
don't.
Right.
If it's something you really want to do and you feel like, oh, this is great and this is what I want to do and this is really what I need to do, and other people are telling you like, oh, don't know,
Hmm.
do it. And
Yes.
if people are telling you to do something and you don't feel like it's going to work, don't do it. Listen
Yeah.
to the voice in your head
Yeah.
because
Listen to your gut feeling. So that's a great piece of
exactly,
advice.
exactly.
That's a good
That-
one. It's good advice for your life too. So
yeah. Follow your own path.
yes, good.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? Do you have some secret designs you can share with us? What do you got up your sleeve?
I I have been crocheting.
That's exciting. That's
I know,
exciting.
I feel like I have to whisper that because
No,
it's
it's
funny.
good.
There was a thread on Ravelry,
Hmm.
I guess like a week or two ago, that Katie from Yarn Love started
Okay.
about mixed designs.
Yeah.
And
I love
like,
them.
oh my gosh, she's reading my mind because I'm working on like 4 different spring designs that are all mixed crochet and knit. Because I love the lacy and the openness of crochet that I think
Too.
you can get from knitting, but
It's
it's a little more
different.
fiddly with
It's
knitting.
different. Yeah.
So I think that lace crochet is much more approachable for a beginner than lace knitting. So I have some really cute little girly designs, and it's funny because I have all boys. I love designing the girly stuff because it's the only way I get it.
Yeah.